Summer Weather Week continues. When hot summer weather settles in, we want to be sure that we and our animals stay cool. Well, meteorologist Dan Bickford standing by now to tell us more. Dan.
Yeah, that's right, Gordon. What if your business was dependent on your animal's comfort? Tonight, how dairy farmers overcome the heat to produce South Carolina's state beverage.
Weather matters to us 365 days a year, so a decision that I may make today can affect me 6 months from now.
Iris Barham is a family co-owner of Milky Way Farm outside of Star, South Carolina. The start of summer means paying extra attention to the herd of 200 cows on this dairy farm. When you look for heat relief on a hot day, so are the cows.
Standing in the shade under a tree is one way to stay cool, but there are other ways to keep the cows cool on the farm.
80 degrees is kind of the key marker of when our cows start feeling heat stress. And so we make sure they have plenty of fresh, cool water to help cool their bodies internally. We have fans that you see up in the barn there. They're on thermostats and they kick on about 78 degrees. And honestly, when it's really hot, they're up in that barn and not on the pasture, because we've designed that barn to be very environmentally friendly for this very hot South Carolina heat. They don't sweat well. They only sweat about 10% of what humans do. So when it comes to getting rid of their body heat when they're really hot, they will pant a lot like dogs. Things you can watch for them to know how they're handling it is, are they chewing their cud so it looks like they're chewing bubble gum? That's a good sign that they're happy. So if you don't see panting and they're chewing their cud, they're pretty comfortable.
Keeping the herd happy and productive is critical to success. If they're not comfortable, they eat less, dropping milk production by 10 to 25%. Even the type of cow becomes important.
We do milk jerseys here in South Carolina because they are much more heat tolerant than the black and white cow, because that black does attract a lot of heat.
We want nice weather for our summer activities, but dairy farmers and their cows won't mind if you root for a few more of those summer showers. Rain cools the herd and is needed to keep the pasture green, which means better feeding.
We're pretty brown for the beginning of June, and it makes me nervous that we're going to have a really hot, dry summer. But at the end of the day, all I can use is the technology and the education, the family experience we have to make it through another season if the weather doesn't come in our favor.
It really is the weather science behind our dairy foods, isn't it?
Yeah, and so far it has been a hot, dry summer, so hopefully we can at least kind of temper things a little bit to help our bovine friends out just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how terrible this can be. There was a huge number of cows in the Midwest that died in the heat this summer.
Yeah,
so
and they've had heat and heat index values worse than we have. We're a little bit more heat tolerant here in the southeast, but it's just a sign that when it gets hot, there are a lot of things that get affected by that.
Yeah, so we got one more Weather Week story coming up.
That is right, and that concludes tomorrow with Chief Meteorologist Christy Henderson. She's going to summer camp to see how they adjust to summer weather to keep your kids safe when it gets hot outside.